What's happening on November 13th? I'm so glad you asked. Well, it is this year's only new moon in Scorpio, and it is a doozy. Do you want to hear more? So grab your notebook, grab your pen, and let's chat. This new moon is conjunct Mars, and it is emotionally something else. It is like everything's internal, we're reacting, we're overreacting, and it's just gonna be one of those moons where we go, wow, a lot has happened. Yeah, so over the next 6 months, remember, it's a new moon starts a 6-month story, so this will take us until April 2024. So while this is happening, Scorpio's deep. It gets in our emotions, right? And it goes with things that have been hidden tend to come to light. It's all about our intuition. It's all about our emotions. Are they being expressed correctly? Or helpfully? So, I don't know if that's a great way to explain it, but if you're not getting it out in a healthy way, is it helping or hurting you? Because in turn, is it helping or hurting those around you? Right? Right. So this can be a very, people just on, like, in these emotions, all of a sudden they just make radical decisions to make big changes, and you're like, whoa, let's slow down, let's think this out, let's plan. How can this work for you long term? Have you thought about that? And they go, I don't care, I'm doing it. And you're like, wow, okay, great. I'll just be supportive anyways, right? That's kind of the energy this is. So it's kind of like leap without a plan, and overreacting and big emotions and overreacting and a lot of passive aggressive behaviors. Yeah. Okay, so here's some other great news. The moon is conjuncting Mars. It's 20 degrees Scorpio, and it's in opposition to Uranus. The sun is in opposition. So do you, like, think of conflict, think of destruction, think of determination, urgency, making change. Like, that's literally what it is. And there's so much, like, undercover work going on. So think of all the undercover detectives going, this just doesn't seem right. Oh, why aren't we being told that? I'm going to look into that, right? We need that to happen because we're not being told truths. So this is where people are putting on their thinking caps going, I'm going to explore this further because I'm not trusting this. Well, yeah, your psychic abilities are going, this is just off. This just isn't, why all of a sudden are we not hearing anything about Ukraine? Oh, that's interesting. They're stopping the elections in Ukraine. Oh, wow. What's his name? Zelensky took control of the thing and banned certain churches, right? Like, this has all been going on, but they're not talking about it because now they have, like, they being the larger, are having us look at the conflict in Israel, right? So what's really happening? This is where people put on their thinking caps and go, nah, this isn't right. It's not adding up. So more things are going to come to the surface, and we're going to learn about all the things they've been just covering up and putting over our eyes, right? That's why it's so abrasive, yet informative, and it can be super empowering because you'll take your power back. But in turn, you'll also see a lot of people covering their tracks as well, but your intuition is going to go, this person just doesn't seem right? So you have to really, like, be on the pulse. So you're going to feel this probably 3 to 5 days, probably 3 days before the moon on the 13th, and then all the way 2 weeks later. But events will happen in a 6-month period. So obviously there could be more issues with the war, definitely more things happening in the war. Maybe even on U.S. soil. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing it happen in the U.S. of A. And terrorism is a part of it, poisonings, assassinations. It's literally all in this crazy 20 degrees Scorpio, Uranus, it's a mess. But really, when isn't it a mess? But now things are intensifying and we're all feeling it. We are expecting something to happen, and you can expect it to happen sooner than later. So it's also time to watch your finances, the stock market. I will say this on repeat. It is definitely a time to see where you have your money invested. The 8th house matters is big investments, other people's money, your stock market, taxes. These themes are going to be coming up even more so. So just like the people who lost their ability to pay their mortgages because the bank was who they had, Mr. Good, whatever his name is, which is the company's name, had issues taking direct deposits. And now we're hearing about more bank closures and banking issues. It's only going to intensify. I will be broken record until everybody hears what I said about it. We are in the season of change, exposing all of the things going on around the world and in our own lives. Everybody's going to have a personal story too attached to this new moon. So what will you be expecting? Obviously, more truths can come to the surface, changes can be made in your life. Really just having the opportunity to make the changes necessary for you to get your life in the right working order that works best for you. What do you want to accomplish over the next 6 months? What do you need to change? What kind of fears are keeping you held back? It's seriously like super into like the underlying fears and blocks that hold us back. That is all 8th house. So it's time to work through all of that gunk that keeps us where we're at and stuck and really helps us push through. So this can be a super empowering moon where you can recognize some things that have been going on, maybe get some therapy done. Great time for hypnotherapy too. Things behind the scenes, right? So you can really connect with spirit, have that emotional release. It's a great time to write as well, journaling, and get things out. But what kind of intentions do you want to set for the next 6 months? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to overcome? What do you want to let go of? And what do you want more of in your life? So those deep-seated fears and beliefs, look at those and see what maybe is time to let go and what's a little outdated and maybe a little updated viewpoint, right? And it's not going to hurt to hear other people's viewpoints. You don't have to agree, but you don't have to shut everybody's opinion out either. Especially this time of year, it's really volatile and there's a lot of grief in the air. Obviously, Scorpio's about transformation and death and rebirth. So a lot of death is in the air. Personally, it has affected me and a lot of people I know. So just be aware that this is just a very sensitive time in general for a lot of souls. So just, check in with one another. And suicide rates are going through the roof. And check in with those you love and the friends you haven't heard from in a while. And just make sure they're doing okay too. So I hope this brings some insights about what kind of interesting things we'll be experiencing. But again, it's going to be a lot of closures and a lot of new beginnings. Again, it's a season change. So we embrace and we flourish. So I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now.